What's up, guys? Welcome to day 80 of Grinding Until I'm a Millionaire. Almost at that 3 month mark. That's pretty crazy. I think I've only been doing these. Maybe it's been 20 days that I've been doing these like videos, and I was looking at the YouTube. They're not high numbers, but I'm hyped. And like, how many people listened to this last one? 18 people listened to me ramble yesterday for 26 minutes. That's crazy. I'm glad. I hope these longer videos are actually providing some insight for somebody out there. That's the whole thing. Like, I'm thinking day 400, I like just sold a business for 100 grand or something, and I'm like, day day 412 just sold my business for 100 grand, and then I'm like, you can go watch all 400 previous episodes, and every single day I talk about what I've done to get myself closer to doing that and move the ball farther. So that's the point here. Like, I'm not coming at you guys like, here's how you make $1 million. I don't fucking know. I have no idea how to make $1 million, but I'm trying. I'm gonna figure it out, and I'm documenting the process. So anyway, I love that you guys are like, people are watching the videos. That gets me super hyped. Anyway, today's Sunday. I work a double on Sunday. Today sucked. I feel like I say that most days, but today was actually like, okay, so my ex was like, hey, I'll be at the apartment at like 10:15. Somebody's going to come by. She's selling her couch from the apartment. Somebody's going to come by the couch at 11. So I'll be there at 10:15 or 10:30 or so. And like, can you help me move the couch downstairs so that this lady can buy it? And I'm like, sure. I thought I worked at 12. And then it's like 10:15, she's not here. 10:30, she's not here. 11, she's still not here. And I'm like, what the hell? So to like 11:15, I called her and I was like, hey, are you okay? And she's like, oh yeah, sorry, I just woke up. And then she's like, oh, I forgot about the couch. And I was like, okay, well, sucks because I got to go to work. And she's like, no, just wait. Like, just wait. I'll be there soon. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So begrudgingly, I wait. And then she gets here. And anyway, long story short, I was late to work. And that's frustrating. Took the bike to work, late to work. Okay, I get there, I go to clock in. It's like, hey, you're late. And I'm like, great. But I was actually late because I was supposed to go to work at 11, not 12. I thought it was 12. So I get there, 12. I'm already an hour late, I guess. Everyone, super cool. Like, this job is crazy. So cool. And he's like, yeah, I mean, I saw you were scheduled at 11, but you usually don't come in like until 12 on Sundays. So I figured that didn't expect you. I'm like, well, that's good, I guess. So anyway, I got clocked in, go to get ready. I forgot my work shirt at the apartment. I put it in the dryer to de-wrinkle it. And then I forgot to put it in my backpack before I rode to work. So I was like, cool. So then I rode from work back to the apartment to get my shirt and then back to work. And then it was just like busy all day, slammed, which is fine. Like, I made pretty good money, so I'm hyped on that. But bro, I was just so annoyed. Like the more that things happen that are outside of my control that like kind of set me back, the more I just want to take that dog, buy a big house in the middle of nowhere and just go live out there, away from everybody, away from any kind of nonsense. Like, just anyway, that's my rant for the day. Frustrating. Didn't get to work on, I don't think I really worked on anything before work. If I did, I can't remember. Took the dog out. I don't know. I did work on something. Oh, I just clipped videos from this thing. I clipped videos from yesterday. Sorry, the camera's a little pointing up too much there. That looks a little better. Anyway, I just clipped or made clips from this, and that's all I did before work, and then got ready for work. But after work, came back here, and oh my God. If you guys remember, actually, I don't know. I feel like I did this before I started documenting these. But so this is my email list kind of. And so like, I have a big, look, this is Secret Hack 101. And I'm only sharing this with you guys who watch the channel because I think this is pretty damn, good. This is good stuff. Like, this is good stuff. So I have a whole system set up where people um, request a recommendation for me, and I find them 3 products that are perfect for them. And it's broken down into like their height, their budget, and stuff like that. So the style, their budget, their height. And so there's probably 60 different splits of like emails that they could get based off of all those things. So everyone's different, and it took a really long time to design it. But now on autopilot, I'm sending out customized recommendations for these people, for people who watch my channel, and like they're really accurate and they're really helpful. So it's really hard to map out and design and like actually build out the content. But once I did, like it's been great. Okay. And then I have a little thing here for them to tip and like send an energy drink or send a few dollars. I've only made probably 25, $30 off of it, but it's nice. You get a little shout out, or get a little, a little donation there when people find something helpful. And that's been nice. It's like, okay, cool. I'm doing good stuff. Anyway, with this email though, I spent so much time designing it. This is all, it's like HTML shell template through ConvertKit. So you can change your templates. But anyway, this is like a HTML template that me and ChatGPT made together. But ever since I changed this template and changed all of my links to be Genius links, I know I talked about that a week or two ago. Like, I swear my affiliate income has just completely tanked. And I feel like it should be up higher around Christmas time. Now, maybe I'm tripping, but November, it was way lower than normal. This month, it's on track to be way lower than normal. And so I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And I know I've been rambling about this for a while, but it's kind of a big whammy when I'm used to making like, say, $1,500 a month in affiliate money. And last month I made like 400, like that extra $1,000 that I didn't get this month. I'm going to be screwed. I'm screwed. I feel really poor this month. And that's why, because I got $400 when I'm used to getting $1,500. So stressful. So anyway, I'm like in psycho mode trying to figure out why the hell that money's down. And like I have a few hypotheses, but one of them is that maybe for some reason my pretty looking email template is not displaying right. Maybe the links, the Genius links, are like canceling out my tracking order, or the cookies aren't applying. And like, people maybe are buying through my link, but they're buying it later. Like there's a 30-day window, so that it should be fine if they're buying it in the 30 days, but it's like something just doesn't seem right. And I don't know, maybe I'm just tripping. I really reaped the benefits of COVID when everyone was buying bikes and it was good. Maybe that's just changed. Purchases have slowed down. Nobody's buying products anymore. Like, I do not know, but I'm going back through all my emails and changing all of the links to not be Genius links, to not be like from a link tracking service, and just be straight affiliate links, and see if that makes any kind of difference. I don't think it is, but I'm like just kind of grabbing for straws here. I'm like, well, maybe that'll help. Maybe, fuck if I know. It's so frustrating. And this is like just monotonous. I go through this link. I have to go to the affiliate's website and then search in the product and then copy the affiliate link, paste it, do that for the second one, do that for the third one, and then go through and change the link to my Discord, because the links that I'm using there, I changed the Discord, or changed the community link to back to Discord. So anyway, got 60, 70 different emails that I've got to change a lot on every single one. So it's 2:36 right now. I was at the like little office area at the apartment working on that. Then my blood sugar got low, so I went and got some candy and then came back here to film this video. And the reason I'm not in bed right now is because I put my stupid chicken in the crock pot at like 11 o'clock, and it cooks for 3.5, 4 hours. And so I'm like, well, I might as well stay up and work on shit until that's done cooking. So it's about done. I think it's got 20 minutes left. So anyway, I try to meal prep on Sundays. That's a really, really big one for me, just getting the meal prep done, because if I don't meal prep, then I buy food, and that really adds up. It's really kind of crazy. Like YouTube just somehow, the YouTube gods recommended a video to me, and it's a book. It's called Self-Discipline: The Neuroscience by Ray Clear. It's got 3.8 million views 3 years ago. I don't know how old it is. It sounds like more of an old-timey book, and I like that. Let me look real quick, because I want to buy the actual Ray what? Ray Clear. Seems old, so let's look. Oh, there's a workbook on it. Maybe it's not old. Fuck, I don't know. January 2020. Published date. Oh, January 2020. It's not that old. It's not old at all. Maybe it's junk. Somebody said, try and get the information from the books that were written before people wrote books to try and sell you something. And now, take that with a grain of salt. But there's so Russell Brunson books, for example. I love Russell Brunson books. I think they're super helpful. Very, very good. Expert Secrets, Traffic Secrets, .com Secrets, very good books. But you can't argue that the motive of those books isn't to sell something else. Like the whole point of them is to give a little bit of information, and then oh, you want to learn more? Join ClickFunnels. And it's the whole point is to sell something. Dean Graziosi, notorious for this, sells a book. At the end of the book, it's join my mastermind, and then upsell, 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 upsell. There's everyone who modern day authors have some kind of crazy upsell funnel tied to their book. And it's okay, well, if that's the point, is the goal really to give you information, or is it to sell you on something? That's what you have to find out. I have a book that's over 100 years old in my closet. It's just a little teeny tiny book. It's this big. Yay big, small book, but it's called Dollars and Cents. Dollars and then cents, but spell SENSE. And it's just old timey business wisdom. And I really like it. The whole goal of that was just I feel to put something out there that is just a collection of old timey business wisdom. It wasn't to sell me on a course or a program or anything like that. It was just, I like it. I think better intentions. So things like that. So I was hoping this book was older, but it's really not. But anyway, I've been putting it on Alexa every night. Did she turn on? Every night when I go to bed, and just falling asleep to it. I like to do that. I like to listen to books and speeches and stuff like that while I sleep. I feel there's a lot of subconscious programming that you can do. Don't know how true that is, but I feel like if I'm spending 8 hours asleep and I just have subconscious people talking at me and telling me stuff about self-discipline or whatever, it's got to take some kind of effect. So anyway, I've been listening to that, and it's got me thinking a lot. I'm not a very disciplined person. And if you asked anyone who's spent any time with me, they'd tell you otherwise, but I promise you I'm not. I do whatever I want, essentially, and I don't hold myself to some kind of discipline. And I wish, I'm going to work on being better at that. But I think what I do instead is I build my environment and my systems around kind of the optimal way that I want to operate. So for example, I've just decided I only eat, well, the more recent one is I've just decided I only eat one meal a day, and I have that one meal. I fast until about 2 or 3 o'clock, have the meal. And then after the meal, for a few hours, I can snack on vegetables or fruits. That's kind of the two things there. And so I've built this thing, where that's the deal. Right. And before that, it's and that's still the thing. My one meal is usually chicken, broccoli, and potatoes. And so the only thing, that's all I eat. I have granola bars that I dip in peanut butter for a snack. If my sugar's low or I'm hungry or something really hungry, the granola bars with peanut butter for a snack. And so those are the things that I eat. And I don't care. I'm not super picky. I hate cooking. I hate doing dishes. And so that works really well for me. But it's also I don't have to worry about buying shit that I don't need at the grocery store. I don't have to be disciplined about my shopping budget or about my diet, because it's like I've just decided I'm the kind of person who eats chicken, broccoli, and potatoes for every single meal, and that's okay. And I'm okay with that. Like that's a generalization. I guess I eat other things too, but for the most part, that's all I eat. And so I can't remember how it went, but it was like instead of trying to build habits, just become that person. So, for example, it's like if you're not typically the type of person who works out, you've got to say, okay, well, I'm going to try and schedule in time to work out, and then try and make that work and fit it in. Versus, like, that's a whole different mindset than I work out every single day, no matter what, or I work out every evening after work, or something like that. Like that, now you are that person. Like it it's got to be a mind, in my opinion, it's got to be a mindset shift to really make a drastic change and to build systems and habits. Like you have to become that kind of person. You have to become like there's a certain type of people who working out is just such a simple example. There's a certain kind of person who does work out every day, and there's a certain kind of person who doesn't. And so if you identify with the person who doesn't, it's going to be very conflicting to try and fit that into your schedule. Like you're just not that kind of person, and that's okay. But don't try and fit a square peg in the round hole. Like if you embody the kind of person who works out every day after work, then it's just like a whole different mindset. And so I've always tried to um, change it to where it doesn't feel like I'm forcing myself to do anything. Because if you feel forced to do something, or you're not doing something because you want to do it, you're going to do it with resentment. It's just not going to be very fun. And so, like for me, I'm just the kind of person who eats a very simple meal 3 times a day because I don't need variance, and I think it's more efficient, and I think it's better for me. And so like now it's like that's it. That's all there is to it. I'm not saying, yeah, I'm on this really, really strict diet where I'm only allowed to eat like this one meal and like bitching about it. That's like, that's just who I am. And I don't worry about it past that. Does that make any sense? Like if I identify as just a normal person who eats all these different kinds of foods and all these different meals, then it's like going to be it's like pulling teeth to try and identify with that other thing versus becoming that identity. There's a million different things you can fit that in. Like, oh, I'm the kind of person who, I just don't watch TV. Like that's another thing for me. I don't watch TV because I get hyper focused and I get sucked into the series. Like if I started watching any series right now, I would binge it, the whole thing, and just the whole thing. My week, month maybe is gone. And so like, I'm just the kind of person, like I don't watch TV, and that's what I tell people. And they're like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, I just don't, that's just me, you know? And I've done that. I've became that person because I feel like that's what's better for me. Like way better for me. And so it's a lot easier to become that person who just like sold the TV, don't watch TV, don't have a Netflix password. Like I became that person versus being a person who watches TV, but then trying to moderate it. And then maybe I'm just extreme. Maybe I'm crazy. That's the way I do things. And it's very different. It's very weird, but I think it makes more sense to build an identity around something versus trying to limit yourself and force yourself to not do certain things or to do certain things. If you just become the person who lives life a certain kind of way, then that aligns a lot better. Hope that makes sense. Makes sense to me, and that's what I've been doing. So anyway, I saw, what was it that's got me on? Oh, just listening to that book every night. Like I do need to be better about discipline. Like building those systems around the way that I do things, that's great. And that's definitely helped me out a lot. But to get to the next level, I think I do need to be more disciplined. And so that's what I want to work on. That's what I want to get better on. I have my daily to-do list that I'm supposed to do every day. I don't. I just haven't built it into my system. Sometimes I would before bed every night. And then sometimes like right now, I'm just going to film this. I'm going to upload it. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to go put the chicken in the fridge. Then I'm going to go to bed. But so yeah, that got me thinking quite a bit. The discipline thing. That's a hard thing, but a lot of studies talk about how that separates kind of the top performers from the bottom performers in any area. Like if you can be disciplined to take care of your body, then you just, what was it? The marshmallow study? I think it was Stanford. The marshmallow study, like they had kids, gave them a marshmallow in the room. They're like, hey, you can eat this now or you can wait and have 2 marshmallows later. And the kids who waited for that second marshmallow, 11 years later or after the study, they were just a lot more successful than the kids who didn't have that impulse control. The kids who didn't have the impulse control were more likely to not do very good in life. And the kids who did have the impulse control did a lot better. And I think that's just such a fascinating thing. People who act on that short-term gratification, it really comes back to bite you. And like if you can, I think if you can just do the small amounts of work every single day without seeing a reward, it'll all come around eventually. I hope, because that's what I'm doing and that's what I'm hoping is going to happen. But anyway, I'm trying to think if there's anything super important that I need to go over. Work was good, made good money today. Came home and working on those stupid emails, and I'm probably going to do another 30 minutes of that before I go to bed. I'm going to turn this off, upload it to YouTube, upload it to Spotify, and upload it to the clipping thing, edit the emails for a bit, and then crawl in bed. So that's the plan. Thank you guys for rocking with me. This was a long one, but I hope that it gives somebody the courage to get better discipline or build a system or change your identity and become a kind of person who does exactly what you want to do. Have a good night. We'll see you guys tomorrow for day 81.